The bridge of the Koran warship Eternal Dominance vibrated softly with restrained power. Commander Zethus watched a blue world drift slowly across the holographic projection. His 4 eyes shimmered with confidence. After 300 cycles of expansion, he had learned one constant truth. Species without warp technology always surrendered once the reality of resistance became clear. "Open a communication channel," he ordered, his translator reshaping clicks and whistles into something the natives would understand. "It is time the humans are introduced to us." The communications officer complied, and Zethus launched into the familiar proclamation he had delivered to countless worlds. "People of Earth, I am Commander Z of the Koran Imperium. Your planet has been chosen for integration into our empire. You have 72 of your hours to..." The reply interrupted him in less than 3 seconds. "Commander Z, this is Admiral James Mitchell of Earth Defense Command. Transmission acknowledged. Stand by for authentication protocols." Zethus' mandibles clicked in surprise. Authentication? These beings barely possessed orbital infrastructure. "I believe there is confusion," he began, but the human voice continued calmly. "Authentication code Sierra Whiskey 779er, transmitting on frequency 2847.6 MHz. Please confirm your vessel designation and command authorization." The bridge went silent. No civilization had ever demanded credentials from the Koran Imperium. Before Zethus could respond, his tactical officer emitted a sharp warning whistle. "Commander, they're scanning us. Full spectrum analysis. They've already catalogued our hull composition, weapons arrays, and..." He hesitated. "They've identified our reactor signature." "That's impossible," Zethus hissed. "They should be centuries away from such capability." Admiral Mitchell's voice returned, unshaken. "Commander, we've classified your ship as a Koran subjugation-class warship. Approximately 400 meters long. Plasma cannons, mass drivers, reactor output supporting a crew of 200. Is that assessment correct?" Zethus' claws tightened around the command throne. "How do you know this?" "We've been expecting you," Admiral Mitchell replied evenly. "Or something very similar." Zethus recoiled. "Expecting us?" "Quick question, Commander," Mitchell continued. "Have you filed an approach vector with system control? I don't see your vessel in the traffic registry." The translator hesitated, struggling to define the concept of a traffic registry. Before Zethus could respond, the human continued. "You're currently inside Earth's orbital jurisdiction without clearance. That violates roughly 16 separate regulations. I'll need your flight plan and the purpose of your visit." The sheer absurdity finally snapped Zethus out of his shock. "We are here to conquer your world," he snapped. "There will be no paperwork." "Copy that," Mitchell replied instantly. "Lieutenant Rodriguez, flag them as hostile." Zethus stiffened. "Commander Z," Mitchell said, his tone sharpening. "You are now in violation of the Solar Defense Act of 2157. You have 2 options. Retreat beyond the heliopause immediately, or prepare to be engaged." Zethus' thoughts raced. By human calendars, that law was nearly 3 decades old. Had they truly been preparing for alien contact for that long? "They're bluffing," Zethus growled. "They must be." He turned sharply. "Weapons officer, target their largest population center." Every display on the bridge erupted in crimson alerts. "Commander," the tactical officer screamed. "We're locked onto by everything. Orbital defense platforms, lunar weapon arrays, installations I can't even classify. At least 40 confirmed targeting solutions. Energy readings flooded the console. Power signatures rivaling our fleet carriers," the officer whispered. Zethus stared at the data in disbelief. Intelligence reports had described a fractured species barely capable of reaching its moon. Yet the numbers told another story. Humanity hadn't been idle. "How?" Zethus breathed. Mitchell's voice returned, colder now. "In 1947, one of your reconnaissance vessels crashed near Roswell, New Mexico. We've had over 2 centuries to prepare for this conversation. Did you honestly think we wasted that time?" New contacts emerged from the shadow of the moon. Human ships. Crude compared to Koran designs, but numerous, armed with weapons unmistakably reverse-engineered from alien technology. You have 60 seconds to alter course, Mitchell said. After that, Earth will be defended by any means necessary. Commander Zethus surveyed his bridge. Fear stared back at him from every face, an emotion no Corran warrior should ever know. Yet beneath it, something far more unsettling lingered. Respect. These humans had transformed a single crashed vessel into a planetary shield capable of terrifying an empire. Helm, Zethus said quietly, plot a course away from this system. Maximum speed. The weapons officer turned in disbelief. Commander, the conquest. There will be no conquest today, Zethus replied, watching Earth shrink on the main display. Humanity has earned its sovereignty. Mark this system as restricted space. Class A threat. The Eternal Dominance disengaged and slipped into retreat vectors, its superiority unchallenged for the first time in centuries. One final transmission crackled through the bridge. You made the right decision, Commander, Admiral Mitchell said. When you're ready to discuss trade instead of domination, you know how to reach us. Safe travels. Zethus allowed himself a rare clicking sound, his species' gesture of acknowledging a worthy adversary. Humanity hadn't merely prepared for first contact. They had weaponized it. 3 months later, the Galactic Council issued an emergency update to its central database. Earth's designation changed overnight. Do not engage. Advanced defensive capabilities. Diplomatic contact strongly advised. Beneath the warning, a personal annotation appeared from Commander Z himself. They were ready for us long before we were ready for them. Across Earth, billions of humans went about their daily routines, unaware of how close their world had come to invasion. And how completely they had won. Without firing a single shot.